Hey everyone, welcome to Pink Tutu Tarot. Today we're looking at what is holding you back in your career, in your work, in your job, whatever it may be, whether you own your own business or you work for a company. What's holding you back? Why aren't you getting ahead? Why aren't you making the progress that you want to make? So I got 3 readings for you and 3 cards. Group 1, your card is card number 31, Lorelei. Group 2 is card number 1, and it's day and night. Day and night. And finally, group 3, your card is number 10, Flower Spirit. Flower Spirit. All right. All right, so all you have to do is consider which one is drawing you, which one is attracting you, which one is pulling you toward it, whether it's the image, the words, the number, could be even the time and the timestamp. Something will get your attention and say, this is the one. Then all you have to do is go into the description box, click on the timestamp for that reading, and it will take you straight there. If you get in a reading and you know it's not really for me, it's okay. It happens, right? Just go back, try again, try a different one, okay? All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you in the reading. Hey, group 1. All right, today we're going to take a look at what's holding you back in your career or in your job or your work. So your initial card here is card number 31, Lorelei. Now let me just see. I just want to listen to what messages come through on this card as we get started here. So bear with me one sec, y'all. Okay, what's coming through initially here is that with your work or in your job, you have a tendency to help everyone else, to save everyone else from disaster, to accept responsibility for things that other people think are urgent, and always kind of being a go-to person for other people who find themselves in a bind at work. But you do it a little bit at your own expense, meaning you're not quite taking care of yourself with your work or in your job. You're not giving yourself what you need. If you notice, this mermaid is sitting here out of the water, and she's helping these people on the boat, but meanwhile, she's out of her element. She's not where she should be, right? She's not taking care of herself, and it's a wonderful thing, to be someone who helps others. It's a wonderful thing to do. It's a wonderful way to be. But what I'm getting here for you is that while helping others is wonderful and great, and it certainly builds good karma, it's not helping you in your career right now. Yes, you can still help people, but help yourself first. Do your own job first. Promote yourself. In other words, speak up about yourself, about what you do, about what you've been doing. Because I'm also getting this message of giving credit or allowing other people to either take credit for what you do, or you just sort of defer to other people, whether it's a boss or coworkers. You let them accept the glory when you've done a lot of the groundwork in some way. Okay, so hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully it resonates. If that doesn't sound like your situation at all, then just try one of the other readings. But otherwise, let's see what tarot cards come out for you and what other messages are coming through about what's kind of holding you back, what's keeping you from getting ahead or getting promoted in your work or your job. All right. Your first card is the Two of Cups reversed. Okay. We have the Emperor. We have the Six of Cups reversed. And we have the Five of Swords. Okay. All right. Give me just a sec. I'm going to take these cards in and listen for some initial messages for you from Spirit. And then we'll talk about what's going on here. So hold on one sec, y'all. The first message that's coming through is that there's a little bit of fear going on with you. There's a kind of a fear of being seen, a fear of being overly criticized, which is why you may be letting other people, you help other people with what they need to do. And of course they're taking credit because it's their work. And it sort of leaves you in the shadows a bit. But I'm getting that this is coming from a place of fear. You know, fear of being criticized, a fear of being wrong, a fear of, you know, if it doesn't go well, if it's not a good job, if the information isn't accurate, it's not, you know, you just kind of out of the picture. But you do a good job. You really do a good job, which is why people ask you to help them, which is why they ask you to work on this or work on that, because they trust you, they respect you, they think you do great work. But you're not getting the credit for it. You're just not getting the credit for it. And that's really something you need to start doing, is either, if you're going to continue to help other people, which is fine in its own way, take credit for, you know, for the work you've done, you know. Toot your own horn a little bit is what I'm getting. Or, hold on. I just want to hear what they're saying. They're giving me something. Hold on one sec. They're saying, or to be fearless in your own work. You know, put yourself out there. Do more on your own initiative. You kind of don't wait to be asked by someone else to do, you know, whatever it is. It's like you don't have to wait to be asked to take on certain responsibilities. So take that if it resonates for you. But I am getting this message of take a little bit more initiative with your job so that you can start taking credit for the work that you do so well for other people. You know, if somebody comes and says, hey, can you help me out with this report, for example? Take that report on if you want to. But make it yours. Make it yours instead of just helping them with their report. Say, you know, I'll be happy to work on this for you, but let me do the whole thing. You know, let me manage it. Let me take ownership of this. That way you can talk about it in meetings. You can explain it. You can review it with others, and you're getting the credit. You're getting the visibility from it. Okay. Now that will vary. Obviously, whatever your job is will, you know, those details will be different. But the overall message hopefully is making sense to you. Okay? All right, so let's talk about the cards. Your first card is the Two of Cups reversed. Give me 1 second. They're giving me, there's a little bit of an energy here of people kind of taking advantage of you and your generosity in the workplace. I don't feel that they're doing it maliciously. They've just kind of accepted that you're the one that will do these things. You know, you're the go-to person to help them look good. And it's not conscious. You know, they're not consciously going, let's go have them do it. They'll make me look good and I can take the credit. They're not doing it consciously, which is why I'm saying it's not malicious. It's not really intentional, but it is happening. And they're wanting to let you know, this spirit is wanting to let you know that this energy of taking you for granted can be changed, by you sort of just stepping up to the plate and taking ownership of the work you do. And if you can't take ownership for something, either request to take on the whole project and to present it, or however that works for you, or remind people that you have to focus on your work first and kind of go above and beyond with what you do for yourself, the things that you get credit for. Because you're doing such wonderful work, you're doing this great job, and some people are utilizing you and your skills and your knowledge, but you're not getting anywhere with it because the credit goes to them. Okay. All right. So then we have the Emperor. There's a message here of speaking up with the boss. They just said become the boss's best friend, or become the boss's best ally. Friend is probably not the right word here, depending on your workplace, I guess. But become the boss's best ally, because they have the most control, right? The most say on your career, more so than coworkers or, maybe other department heads, that kind of thing. If you become their ally, if you are in their ear and letting them know you want to take on more responsibility, you want to take on more challenges, you want to learn more things, let them know you want to expand your role, expand your job. I feel like you're so busy helping others, doing this, doing that, kind of all over the place, that you're not focused on what you need in your career, and your boss, the one who is most responsible for you getting ahead, whoever that is, isn't aware even of what you want. So there's a message here of getting through to the boss. One-on-one, talking to them, working with them, having conversations with them about what you want and where you want to go. And conversations about the work you have done. They may not, depending on the structure of your company, they may not even realize that you've done so many things for other people. And you don't have to put it that way, but you can say, I assisted in this project. I assisted with that report. I helped this person get this off the ground. Whatever it may be, show the scope of your skills, because you're doing so much more than what they realize. Even if you've done some things for them, I don't think they realize the scope of everything you're doing. Even with the things you have done for them, I don't see that they are putting the pieces together, that some of the stuff you would like to do at a higher level, right? Okay. All right, so your next card is the Six of Cups reversed. They're telling me you are so kind to everyone else. Okay, there's an energy here of wanting to be liked, and there's nothing wrong with wanting to be liked. It's a tough enough world out there with people who, are rude and cruel and arrogant. And the fact that you are kind and you're friendly is wonderful. Just don't do it at your own detriment. Don't take on things that aren't your aren't your responsibility, unless in some way you're getting credit for it, or it's helping you get ahead in some way that you can actually perceive. In other words, you're able to tell the boss about it. You're able to promote yourself in some way. And it's not to mean you have to go into work and start bragging to everybody about what you've done, but there's a line between bragging about what you're doing to everyone and just doing things quietly, in a friendly way and not speaking up at all. There's somewhere in between that you can be, where you're still friendly, you're still kind, people still like you, but you're also not getting, taken advantage of or walked on. You are getting credit for what you do, for what you have done, and you're letting other people know, look, I'm good at this. This is my skill set. This is where I want to go with my career or my work. It's really starting to take ownership of the things you have done and are doing. Again, rather than letting someone else, just have you help them, and then they move on. So yes, be kind. Yes, be friendly. Yes, help others if you can. But make sure you do it with a sense of empowerment rather than a sense of duty to others, All right. Okay, so then we have the Five of Swords. And give me just one second. I just want to hear what they want to say about this card. Again, they're telling me that you have to be fearless, a little bit more fearless in your job, in your work. You have to own, if you really want to get ahead, you want to know what is blocking you, what is holding you back. It's that you are more likely to walk away from a situation, for example, walk out of a meeting knowing someone else took credit for a lot of the work you did, rather than being fearless and speaking up, when it's appropriate, when it makes sense. You have to use your discernment and be diplomatic, but you can be diplomatic and still stand in your power and be fearless. Own the work you've done. Own what you know how to do. And don't let anyone else walk away with that credit without you making it known to the people who need to know it the most. Because it feels like you are well deserving of, whether it's a promotion or additional responsibility or, leveling up in some way. You're ready for it. You are skilled enough for it. You know what you're doing. You have it in you to do whatever would be next in your career path. But right now you're not being fearless enough to let anyone know. So it's not to say you're being fearful, but again, there's a little bit of fear here. There is a little bit of fear here that you can overcome because you know how good you are. There's a reason why people come to you. There is. So own that, help others if you can, but don't do it to your own detriment, okay? All right, group one, I hope that helps. I hope it resonated. If it did, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps me know that our energies are connecting. It will also help future readings resonate with you more as well. Thank you so much for your comments. I love them. I read every single one, and I'm grateful for them, and I'm thankful that you're here. So have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye. Hey, group two. All right, today we're looking at what's holding you back in your work or in your career, within your job. Your initial card here is card number 1, and it's day and night. Give me just a second. I just want to hear what Spirit wants to tell you about this card. Okay, the first thing they're telling me, there's a need here for you to get outside of the box. Either you have put yourself in a bit of a box, or you have been put into a box, meaning you have taken on a certain role within your job or the work you do, or it's been given to you. Take that either way. But you're in this role, and it's like you stay within the confines of that role, and you don't reach beyond that like you could or you should. And they're showing me on this card a few things, what they're showing me. The first is that if you notice, she's got a shadow over her eyes, and it's nighttime up here, meaning that you don't realize this is happening. Maybe hearing it now, it kind of sparks some recognition, but you've just been a little bit blind to it. So hopefully this reading brings you some clarity. But they're also showing me how she's holding the sun in her hands. And they're telling me that you have the power in you to take on and to do so much more than either what you've been given or kind of what you have accepted is within your role. All these rays and orbs that are coming off the sun, these are all things, big and little things that you could be doing outside of your specific role. Now, you may be saying, my job is my job. How can I can't just do different things. well, talk to your boss. Talk to, whoever's responsible for your growth within the company, for getting you promoted or raises or whatever it may be. If you're working for yourself, maybe reach out to customers and ask them what, you do a survey kind of thing. But let them know that you are interested in doing more. And, you may have some ideas on things you could do. If you brainstorm that a little bit, you may get some ideas there, or they may have some ideas for you. But if you allow yourself to think outside the box, then you will grow outside the box. And it will bring you a lot of clarity, a lot of power, a lot of strength, a lot of success in your career once you are able to embrace that. Once you are able to kind of escape the confines of what you have been doing. Find ways to take on new responsibilities. Tell your boss, you know what? I really am interested in XYZ. Is there an opportunity for me to do some of that? Now, I'm not saying necessarily in the beginning you have to ask for more money. If you can, great. But sometimes you ask for more responsibility. You ask to take on a project or a role of some kind in a small way so that you can prove yourself. Prove yourself to them, prove yourself to yourself. And then as you become more proficient in it, as you become more responsible for it, as you become more indispensable in that way, then you ask for more money. If you can ask for more money right away, the way your company works, but if you can ask for more money right away, then do it. You may or may not get it, but what I'm getting is you don't necessarily have to make more money initially. Right now, what's holding you back, what's keeping you from getting promoted, getting raises, moving up, getting, more rewards for the work you do, is that you're limiting yourself. Either someone else is limiting you, they've said this is your job. But it feels a little bit like it goes both ways. Like someone else has said this is your job and you've kind of said, okay. But you can speak up and let someone know that you want to try to do more. That there are other things you're interested in, other things you may be good at. So give that some thought. Because I am getting that it would be really good for you. Really good for you in your career growth. Okay, let's get some tarot cards down and see what else you need to know. What's holding you back in your work, in your career. Your first card is the Queen of Cups. Then we have the Nine of Wands reversed. You have the Star reversed. And we have the Queen of Swords reversed. Okay. Interesting that we have the Star here with a card that's night and day. Feels like there's going to be a good message with that. So I haven't gotten to that yet. So give me just a sec. I'm going to take these cards in, listen for some initial messages for you, and then we'll talk through what's going on here, okay? So bear with me one sec, y'all. Okay, the first thing they're giving me is that these two queens, at least initially, represent people that you work with, work for in some way. People that have some say or responsibility for your growth. It may, like a boss, essentially. If you work for yourself, it may be, it could be some important influencers or important customers that in some way can help you expand. But these people, is it people or one person? It's two different people. It's two different people. Can make a significant impact on your career growth. But it's still up to you to stretch yourself in order to get their attention. Once you do that, it's like these people, and they may be women, they may not be. It really isn't gender specific. It's more about the energy of these people. But these two people will be able to help you in a big way. Right now, they don't think they can help you. Either you're not getting their attention, or they kind of just think that your potential is limited. And that's because you're still in this box of whatever you do. But you're so much more capable than that, and you know that. I can feel it, and I know you know it. But you've got to show it in order for other people to also think that. Okay? So let's jump into the cards. So your first card being the Queen of Cups. This is someone who he or she is very kind to you if you know them now. Do they know them now? You may or may not know them now, but you will recognize this person as somebody who is very kind. And I'm saying you may not know them now as, for example, if it's a new job and maybe you don't know everyone, if you work for yourself, there's some situations where you may not know this person. Or you may not know them well in your workplace, but you will recognize them. You may recognize them now. Hold on. This person is very expressive, is what Spirit's giving me. They're very expressive. They speak up in meetings, or they're very vocal in some way, but not in a negative way, not in an over aggressive way. They have a very kind way about them and a little bit of a nurturing sense about them. This person either does or will like you very much, kind of almost on a personal level. You will click in some way. But this person, once you start to show your strengths a little bit more, will step in and want to help you. Okay? If you work for yourself, it may be somebody who is further along in a similar kind of business, and they look at you and realize, maybe we could collaborate. Maybe this person could use a leg up or a mentor of some kind. But this person will want to help you. But there is this feeling of you need to show that you want it as well. And right now, it's what you want is very much in the shadows. You may be aware of it. No one else is. No one is really aware of what you are capable of right now. But they can be, right? They can be. All right, so your next card is the Nine of Wands reversed. They're giving me, you're a little bit afraid of this. There's a little bit of fear here. Vulnerability of reaching beyond your role. So maybe as you're hearing this message, you're hearing this reading, you're kind of quivering at it. It doesn't feel comfortable to you. And Spirit's saying that's okay. It's okay to be a little uncomfortable, to step outside your comfort zone. In fact, it's necessary. It's necessary because your comfort zone has you kind of essentially in sleep mode, where you're not being noticed or recognized as you should be. You're not being challenged the way you should be. You're not embracing your power the way you could be. So understand that feeling uncomfortable is a part of the process. It's okay. But allow that vulnerability to push you forward. You know, if it makes you uncomfortable to do something that is outside of the box of your normal routine, your normal role, do it subtly. Do it in a small way at first. And understand that you're not expected to do something new and do it perfectly, you know, right away. No one would expect that. But it's the effort of trying. It's the effort of putting yourself out there, of saying, I want to learn, I want to grow, I want to do, I want to be challenged, I want more responsibility. And giving yourself the opportunity to go for that so that others can see what you're capable of. Because I feel like once you do allow yourself to stretch and go beyond your fears and your vulnerability a little bit, you will see for yourself that it actually is not so scary after all, and that you're actually quite good at it. Okay, hold on one second. I just want to see if there's something else I want to say. Oh, no, okay. I feel like they were trying to tell me more, but nope. All right, so moving on to the star reversed. Okay, they're telling me you're not going to go from 0 to 100 overnight. It doesn't work that way, or at least it's not going to work that way here. But don't let that deter you. Don't let that discourage you. If you stay within the confines of exactly what you've been doing, and yes, you might be very good at it, and it might be very comfortable. You could probably do it in your sleep. If you stay within those confines, yes, you may be the best at what you do, but no one will recognize you as someone who can do more. And your star, right, is kind of being kept under cover. It's being kept under cover. It's not visible to everyone else right now, because you haven't given yourself a chance. It's not that they haven't given you a chance. They don't realize that there's more that you could be doing. There's more you want to do. There's more you want to learn. And as you start to stretch and reach and take on different jobs, responsibilities, whatever, projects, your star will slowly start to rise. It will take a little bit of time because people have to get used to it. It doesn't happen overnight. But having the star here in your reading at all is a sign that this will lead you to something very, very good. You know, the star is the ultimate card of hope, of ambition, of success, of fulfilling kind of what you should be doing in some way. But just like the night and day card, your star right now is being hidden. It's being hidden. Okay, they're showing me with this large star that, again, there is something you're very good at. There's something you've been doing, and it makes you feel good because you're probably at like some kind of an expert level at it in some way. You're very good at it, but there's so much more you could be doing. And all these other stars here, you've got 7 other stars here that are calling to you, that are waiting for you to grab a hold of them and make them your own. So it's telling me there are other projects, there are other avenues within your job, you know, not a different job, within your job, within what you do now. There are other avenues, other areas that you could reach for, expand into, take on in some way. And it's more than one, you know. You don't have to do them all at once, but start somewhere. And as you do, your star will get brighter and brighter and brighter. And if there's any fear here that, you know, of it being uncomfortable, of taking on too much, of getting in over your head, the star card is such a balanced card, you know. They they have the best of both worlds. So you will have balance, you will have fulfillment and joy in your work, but you will also be seen and recognized as the star that you can be, that you should be, that you are, but a star in hiding. Okay. And then finally we have the Queen of Swords reversed. This is another person, and this is a person who is, unlike the first one, who is very vocal. This one doesn't speak very much, but they watch. They're watching and paying attention. And right now you're not getting their attention. But you will. You will. You may not know you've caught their attention initially. But if there's someone in your workplace or someone in your world in some way, your work world, that fits this description of somebody who's very discerning, somebody who really only speaks when they have something very important to say, but otherwise they don't. They're not nasty. I feel they have a lot of experience in what they do. And they sort of have this laser-focused insight into other people, which you may or may not notice about others. You may not notice it about yourself because you're kind of still in the dark right now. But they do. And so if you recognize this person, understand that they are aware, especially as you start to grow your star. They're going to become more and more aware of you and your skills and your capabilities. This first queen is going to encourage you, is going to nurture you in some way, is going to help you. This other queen, the Queen of Swords reversed, will quietly take notice of you. And they will be your advocate kind of behind the scenes. You know, not one-on-one, not with you personally necessarily, but with others, okay? So know that you've got two people here that want to, or will want to, promote you, help you get ahead, help you be successful, because your success is everyone's success. One will be very vocal and nurturing and, you know, I'm trying to say attach yourself to this person, but they're not letting me say attach, but associate with this person as early on as you can so that you can get their encouragement. They will help you overcome some of this feeling uncomfortable and feeling nervous about trying new things. This Queen of Swords reversed, this person you don't have to associate with or attach to or become buddies with. They are kind of on their own, but they're going to help you just the same. And they actually will probably have more power to initiate growth in your career than the Queen of Cups, but the Queen of Cups will help you get there. But ultimately, it's all on you. That's the truth. It's on you. You know, you have to do what it takes to make your star rise. And nobody can do that for you. All right, group 2, I hope that helps. I hope it gives you what you needed. I hope it resonated. If it did, please give the video a thumbs up. It helps me know that our energies are connecting, and it will also help future readings to resonate with you more. So thank you so much. Thanks for your comments. I read them all, and I genuinely enjoy them all. And if you haven't subscribed, please hit the subscribe button so you'll know about future readings when they come up. All right, have a great day, y'all. Bye-bye. Hey, group 3. All right, today we're going to take a look at what is holding you back in your work, in your job, in your career. So your initial card here is card number 10, and it's Flower Spirit. Okay, give me just a sec. I just want to listen and get some initial messages about this card for you, and then we'll get into the tarot. Okay, the first thing they're giving me is that you're being overshadowed a little bit in your job, in your work. It's like there's someone who is bigger than you, in bigger personality, bigger voice, more out there than you. And your light sort of gets covered up by them. You know, if you notice this person here, this whatever she is, fairy, you know, her dress is made of light, is what it looks like to me. So there is something wonderful about you and the work you do, and your light is shining, but this other person and I do feel like it's a person, at least for most of you, is overshadowing, is kind of hiding your light in some way. Hold on one second. I'm also getting a message here of, okay, what they're telling me is it's not really about this other person. It would be easy to blame this other person. Oh, they take all the credit, or oh, they're always the one to speak up, whatever it may be. Maybe they just have more experience in a higher position, and so they naturally sort of shine. They naturally get seen more. That won't be the case for all of you, because I feel like for some of you, there's someone who is maybe newer than you, possibly less experienced than you, that still manages to get noticed more. And they're showing me that for you to shine, for you to not overshadow them, but for you to be seen for everything you are, there is a need for you to expand yourself, expand your power. And what do you mean by that? How do I phrase that? I know what they're showing me and giving me, but I don't always know how to put it into words. Give me one sec. This is going to sound, well, I'm just going to say, there's a little bit of playing small here. And a little bit of allowing this person to be the center of attention, possibly. And maybe for valid reasons as far as you're concerned, but Spirit's giving me you have as much right to be in the spotlight as anyone else. So whether this is one person or several people, there's people that you have noticed, and I do believe you've noticed that they're doing more than you, they're getting better results than you, they're getting more attention than you, but they may not be even as good at what they do as you are. And it's partly because you are holding yourself back. You're allowing yourself. If you notice, this fairy is holding on to the flower. Is almost not intentionally, consciously, but in some way taking cover under them. But it's time for you to shine on your own. It's time for you to step out from their shadow. Whether this is, if you own your own business, it may be competitors or other people who do the same thing that are just doing more, getting more, are more successful, even though they may not be as skilled as you. Or if it's in the workplace, it's just someone who gets all the attention. But you have this light about you. You deserve more. But it's like you almost have to, this is going to sound terrible, but it's the only way it's coming to me, is you almost have to grow up a little bit, right? Own your power. And please don't take offense by that. It's just how they were giving it to me. Own your power. Be the power that you are inside. You want to be successful, act successful. You want to be promoted, get to a higher position, act like you're already there in some way. That's how you sort of embrace your power, and you become more centered and more confident. And it doesn't take away from this other person or other people at all, but it allows you to shine and grow and receive the level of success that you want and that you deserve on your own, away from them, apart from them. It's not to take anything away from them. I don't feel like they're doing anything wrong. At least I'm not even going into their energy, but I don't feel it's about them. There may be something about them that irritates you, at least for some of you. But it's because there's a part of you that recognizes something in them that you wish you were embracing. But you can. You can embrace that side of you. And you should. So rather than look at them as a competitor, rather than look at them as oh, they're always going for attention or whatever it may be. Use them as an example. Take encouragement from them to almost not follow in their footsteps, because you shouldn't be clinging to them in any way, but to claim your own place in the spotlight apart from them. Okay? All right, hope that makes sense. Leave that there. Let's get some tarot cards down and see what else we can tell you about, what's holding you back. What's keeping you from being the most successful version of you in your work, in your job, in your career that you can be. All right, your first card is the Three of Pentacles reversed. Okay. We have the Sun reversed. There's that power, there's that confidence, that energy, that shine that you have that's just being overshadowed. Interesting. We have the Nine of Cups. And the King of Pentacles reversed. Okay. All right. Give me just a sec while I take these cards in. I'm going to listen for some initial messages for you, and then we'll talk through these cards and see what else we can find out here. So give me one sec. Bear with me, y'all. The first thing they're telling me is that there's a need for you to be explosive in your energy. And that's not an angry explosive or an aggressive explosive. But they're showing me that you're so constricted right now. You are keeping to yourself. Your energy is, your light is not shining as brightly as it deserves to. Because it's there. And it's like you almost need, they're showing me, you almost need to light, either you yourself or someone needs to light your fuse and just explode your energy. And maybe for some of you, this is interesting, for some of you, this is kind of like going out on a ledge and doing something big to get noticed. To put yourself out there, to own your bigness rather than playing small. And it might be one big thing that you do that makes everybody go, whoa, whoa. But being less about them, you will realize yourself how good it feels to be seen, to be recognized, to be the center of attention, to be the spotlight. So for some of you, it is about starting with one big explosive moment. And again, it's not about yelling, screaming, nothing like that. It's about doing something big that gets people's attention. For others of you, it really is about lighting that spark in you and knowing you have it in you they're showing me fireworks. You have it in you to make a splash in your work, in your job, in your career. You can make your mark. You can be bigger than life. But you got to step out of the shadows. Right now, there's a part of you that's letting someone else shine, or they just are shining and you're wishing that you could either be more like them or have the success, the attention, the recognition, the rewards that they're getting. But you can. Know this. You can. You have to step away from their shadow and be your own light. Yeah? Okay. All right, so let's jump into the cards. Your first card is the Three of Pentacles reversed. There's a part of you that doesn't feel like you are an expert, that you are as good at what you do as you actually are. There's a little bit of imposter syndrome going on here, at least for some of you, because I'm getting it very, very clearly that you look to other people and you may recognize that, oh no, I could do it better than them, right? I do feel there's some of that. I could do it better than them, or they're not as great as everyone thinks they are. But then you say those same things about yourself, you know? That there's a part of you that thinks, but I'm not good enough. You know, if everyone could really see, they'd think I was a fraud. They'd think I was whatever. You're much more capable than you're giving yourself credit for. It's time for you to own it. It's like you have to own it first. And then to showcase it so other people own it as well. So other people see it, recognize it, grab onto it, you know, in the form of promotions, raises, you know, rewards, progress, whatever it may be for you. Again, stop playing small. Stop playing small. You are better than you're giving yourself credit for. And you're just as good, if not better than the competition. So what? Don't hide. Don't hide your light. Don't hide your light. Because here with the sun reversed, you know, it's still the sun card. And the sun card is such an amazing card to have in a reading, especially about career. It means the light is shining on you and it feels amazing. Like you've got it all. You're successful, you're happy, you're seen. But it's in reverse right now. You're hiding your light. It's time to shine. Find a way. That's what I'm getting. Find a way to set yourself apart, first of all, from the competition, from other people, to be the voice of, whether it be a project, whatever it may be for you. You'll have to figure that out, this being a general reading. But find a way to be the voice of that. Be the person who does this, XYZ, and own it. And you will see the attention start to shift on you. And you will see that this card turns around and boy, it feels good. It feels good to be in the sun, you know, to not be hiding in the shadows. It feels good to have that spotlight on you. And right now it may feel scary, or you may be feeling like, yeah, but I'm not good enough. And everybody's going to find out. If they're looking at me, they're going to see I don't know what I'm doing. Forget about that. You do know what you're doing. And is there room to learn? Sure there is. There always is. And you will. But the more you hide in the shadows, the more you cover your light, the less you will even want to. Because you're not getting recognized, you're not getting the rewards, you're not being seen. And that can be very demotivating, you know? It can really kind of suck the joy of what you do out of you. Okay? All right. So then we have the Nine of Cups. What do you want? What do you really want? What's important to you? For some people, it's making more money. It's getting, you know, a certain title. It's being able to do a certain job. You know, just being very good at what they do and being recognized for that. Only you know what is most important to you when it comes to your work, your career, your job. Find that. Find that thing that is most important to you. What is it you really want? And ask yourself, why am I not going for it? Not why am I not getting it, because that puts the onus on somebody else. Nobody is keeping you from it. They're just not recognizing you as someone who is ready for it, or that wants it in some way, or they're just not noticing you. Own what you want. And then if you notice how this man is sitting there, it's a very powerful pose, you know, legs apart, arms crossed, looking straight forward. They know what they want. They're not afraid to sit or stand in their power and be the expert. You know, to have the spotlight on them, to be seen. Whatever it is that's important to you, it is within your grasp. It can happen for you. But you got to stop comparing yourself to other people, because all that does is diminish your light one way or another. Either it's because you find yourself sort of begrudging what they have, or you start criticizing yourself and telling yourself you're not as good as them or good enough. Own what you do. Be bigger than life about it. Because there's this, I just keep seeing like, a boardroom, a meeting, and this doesn't have to be literal for you, but there's a meeting where all these grown-ups are sitting around a table and you walk in as a child and nobody's taking you seriously. And it's not because you're acting childish. Please don't take it that way. It's not that you're acting childish, it's that you're playing small. Imagine yourself at the head of the table, as the boss, as whatever it is you are wanting. Imagine yourself there and put that confidence in you. Fake it if you have to at first, right? Don't be overconfident. Don't be cocky about it. Confidence is beautiful in people, because it just means I know my worth. I know what I can do. Even if you don't know it yet, you will. Okay? And trust that you are good enough. You really are. You're not an imposter. All right, so then we have the King of Pentacles reversed. There is a little bit of getting out of your comfort zone here. It's easy to sit back and go, nobody ever, everybody notices this other person, all these other people are getting the results, the success. There's no room for me to be successful, is kind of the message. There's no space for me to be successful too. Nonsense. Absolute nonsense. Snap out of that. There's room for everybody. Whether you think so or not, there's room for everybody. But you got to find your own place in the sun, which may mean doing something that's uniquely you. It may mean you just standing in your own power and letting everyone know that you're good at what you do, which starts with you. You've got to believe it, or at least tell yourself that. Again, fake it till you do believe it. And I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean that in a positive way, because sometimes we need to prove it to ourselves that we are good enough. Which means that we have to sort of put ourselves out there wondering, are we good enough or not at first? And then it will come to us. Yeah, you are good enough. Because you've got this light. You're meant to shine. You're meant to be in the sun, in the spotlight. You don't need to hide. You don't need to play small. You don't need to be small. There's room for you. There's room for everyone to be successful. So grab onto it. All right, group 3. I hope that helps. I hope it resonated and gave you some guidance that will help you move forward. If it did resonate, please give the video a thumbs up. I really appreciate that. It helps me know that our energies are connecting, and it will also help future readings to resonate with you more, because we will be connected. I love your comments. Leave comments if you can. I appreciate them. I read every single one. It helps as well. And if you haven't subscribed, hit that subscribe button. That way you'll be notified when new readings come up. They'll come up more easily for you. All right. Thank you so much, group 3, and we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.